Good morning, guys. It is me, Klarissica, here on Klarissicasays, where Klarissica says it all, and that's how I feel. So we are back with another video, guys. Today is a trending topic type of video. I know that this has happened a couple of days ago, but I've been waiting to see what's going to happen with this situation. And now that I have the details that I want, I'm going to tell you guys what happened in Colorado. OMG, guys. OMG, guys. OMG. There was a mass shooting in Boulder, Colorado. Colorado always had something going on. I'm telling you, Colorado has had a couple of shootings, a couple of mass shootings in their history of existence. And this is another one to add to the list. So, first of all, I'm going to be looking down because I'm looking at my phone to reference the article that I'll be looking at today to give you guys this information. But I will also leave screenshots throughout the video so you can also see what I am, referring to. So basically, there was this, man, 21-year-old man who went into a grocery store and started to set off fire. Nobody knows why he did this. Nobody understands what happened, what triggered him. Did he work at the store? These are the questions that I'm thinking about. Did he work at the store? Was there someone that was at the store that he wanted to come after? Why that specific store? Did he know anyone at this store? Did he know the manager? Did he get into an altercation with maybe some of the people that were being shot at, like specifically? Because if you're living in a smaller town, you kind of know people go shopping. Were there people there that he knew had some past history with, had like a vengeance out for, or had like a chip on his shoulder for? We don't know. But I waited a little bit to get more details on this story, because whenever a story first comes out, all the details are not going to be there, just the story headline, of course. And we already know, sadly, that 10 people passed in a shooting. But all the details about the situation aren't going to be out fresh and hot when it comes. So I wanted to wait a little bit, so I did. So this is what this article says. I'm going to read you an article from the New York Times. It states, suspect charged with 10 counts of murder in Boulder, Colorado shooting. This was updated this morning, and it does not say who wrote it. So I was looking to see who wrote it so I can credit the person who wrote the article, but I'm pretty sure there were more than one person touching this story. So it's made by the New York Times. I'll leave the link down below. So what it says, here's what you need to know. Suspect is in hand. Investigators hunt for a motive in the Boulder shooting. Biden calls for an action on gun violence after 2 mass shootings in a week. She thought it might be her last call. I just told them I loved them. One of the people that were within the grocery store called their family and also 911. Across states, a checkerboard of gun laws reflect a partisan tilt. The suspect was prone to angry outbursts, according to former classmates. A judge recently blocked Boulder from enforcing its assault weapon ban. Okay, so again, suspect in hand. Investigators hunt for a motive in Boulder shooting. So Ahmed Alawi Alyssa, a 21-year-old man from a Denver suburb, was charged Tuesday with the killing of 10 people at a grocery store in Colorado. Officials have yet indicated a motive. And there's an image. Investigators on Tuesday were trying to determine what motive a 21-year-old man charged in the shooting at a Boulder, Colorado grocery store to take the lives of 10 people in the second mass shooting in the United States in less than a week. In less than 7 days, there have been 2 mass shootings. What? The gunman was armed with both a military-style semi-automatic rifle and a pistol when he walked into the King Soopers store on Monday and opened fire. Officials said They identified the suspect, who was arrested at the scene, as Ahmad Al-Alawi or Aliwi Alyssa, who lived in Arvada, a nearby suburb. He was charged with 10 counts of first-degree murder, which in Colorado carries a penalty of life imprisonment without parole, which, of course, duh. Like, why would you let somebody like that out for any reason? Like, come on. A police affidavit made public on Tuesday said that last week he brought a Ruger AR-556, a semi-automatic pistol, essentially a shortened version of an AR-15 style rifle, which fires the same small caliber, high velocity ammunition. First developed for battlefield use. Okay, statements from the police and the charging documents did not make fully clear what models or weapons he used in the attack and whether the Ruger was one of them. All they know is a semi-automatic and a smaller gun. The suspect's identity was previously known to the FBI because he linked to another individual under investigation by the Bureau, according to law enforcement officials. So, basically what they're saying to me is that the suspect's identity was previously known by the FBI because of someone else he knew. So, was this some form of... Does Colorado have some form of, underground group that... has a vengeance against the world? Is there anything of that? Is there a group in cahoots with the government? Is there a group against the government? And what I'm saying, when I say in cahoots, I mean, see, what y'all don't understand is sometimes, not all cases, sometimes things are done for reasons and to pass certain laws and to scare and to fearmonger. And yes, you guys may think I might be off. I mean, I know, but sometimes, yes, they will sacrifice people. And at the same time, these people that are being sacrificed can also be crisis actors. You don't know. And they can also be people that have been around the town and been known for a little while. So therefore, if something happens like this to them, then it's like, okay, well, it just kind of fits the character of them being known in the community. I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm just saying it can happen. This does happen in America. Like, I know in America there have been situations where there were real fake mass shootings and fake situations and just situations that were back behind the government. That's just my opinion. But in this case, I don't know. Nobody knows. I just know that for them to say the suspect's identity was previously known to the FBI because he was linked to another individuals under investigation by the Bureau says to me that this person was definitely already in some kind of group that the FBI knew about, or was in cahoots with some kind of group that the FBI knew about, or type of people that apparently does this kind of things, and this could be a form of war on land. You never know. We have war everywhere else. Other countries could be sending people over here to do this kind of things to bring attention to the government, and then they twist it and go for the gun laws. Like always, they always go for the gun laws, but you don't see normal people doing this type of thing. So to put gun laws out for these type of situations don't really, help the public as a whole, because you don't see people as a whole public doing this kind of things. You guys follow me? I don't know if you follow me, but that's my opinion. When he was a senior at the Arvada West High School, Mr. Alyssa was convicted in 2018 of a misdemeanor assault against another student in the classroom, and has told the police at that time that he was in a retaliation situation for insults and ethnic taunts, which I can believe. Fellow students recall him having a fierce temper that would flare in response to setbacks or slights. Maybe he was very competitive, had a lot of stress at home. I don't know, but I can see that too. And that would be scary, being with somebody that that's around, that has a quick temper, very, very, very quick to get angry if he did something wrong, based off of maybe holding himself up to a certain standard. I would be kind of on the fence about that person. But it is what it is. Mr. Alyssa's brother described him to the Daily Beast as mentally ill, paranoid, and antisocial. See, like I said, a little off. He's a little off. He's pressuring himself, not even his family. He's pressuring himself to be a kind of way. And people do that. And if you see somebody that's like that, and if your family knows, like, especially his brother saying that, like, I feel like parents know their kids. They should have got him some help. They should have gotten some help. In a situation like he's throwing these temper tantrums in high school. You got to be an adult. 2018, like, come on. Your parents knew from a young age that you're probably doing the same activity from a young age. Maybe he was on some kind of treatment. We don't know. But if he wasn't, then that's also responsibility on his parents. Because when you see this type of activity from a young age and you do nothing to fix it, stuff like this happens. Stuff like this happens. For all we know, one of the cashiers could have said something to him the wrong way, and he took it the wrong way, and now he has a vengeance off his cashier and shoots up the whole entire store. You never know, because his brain wasn't all the way there, baby. He was not all the way there mentally. He was there. He could function, but when it comes down to being emotionally sane, he was not emotionally sane, and he had an emotional imbalance. And there's lots of people out there that has emotional imbalance. They're bipolar, all of that, but if he was never diagnosed, he was never treated. When I say treated, people always go to meds. You don't have to always be treated with meds. You could just be treated with learning how to control yourself, control your emotions, control your anger. If you never learn how to control your emotions, control your anger, control your actions, stuff like this happens. So, among the victims of the massacre on Monday was Officer Eric Talley, 51 years old, with the Boulder Police Department, who had responded to a barrage of 911 calls about the shooting. So the authorities identified the 9 additional victims as Denny Strong, 20 years old, Nevin Stanistic, 23-year-old, Ricky Olds, 25, Trelana Bart Kowiak, 49, Suzanne Fountain, 59, Terry Laker, 51, Kevin Mahoney, 61, Lynn Murray, 62, and Jody Waters, 65. So those were the additional 9 people that were identified victims of this mass shooting, 10 altogether, including the police officer Eric Talley. Okay, so Mr. Alyssa, the guy that actually was the person that was shooting, actually did get injured in his leg. I don't know if that was by the police officer that ended up dying, but he did get an injury, and he actually was sent to a hospital for treatment. So I don't know if, in this case, he's right now being tried for 10 murders, and he is right now going to have life in prison without parole. I don't know if they're going to twist this once everything gets hit to the public, and once he actually does go to trial in court. I don't know if they're going to twist this and say that he was mentally insane, or that he may not be mentally sane enough to be in prison for life. I don't know. So I'm going to move forward and just say that the shooting came 6 days after another gunman deadly shooting in Atlanta. It basically was at a massage parlor, and there's not that much information on that in this article. So a video streamed live from outside of the grocery store on Monday had appeared to show a suspect handcuffed, shirtless, and with his right leg appearing to be covered in blood, being taken from the building by officers. So the employees and shoppers inside the grocery store described a harrowing scene, and I'm pretty sure everybody basically said that they just felt that they were going to die. They didn't know what to do in the situation, and everybody was running towards the exit, is what it said. So all of the victims and the parents and the family members of the other 9, including the 10th person, especially the Boulder police officer, Officer Eric Talley, family has been mourning and making their condolences to each other, and of course the family members as well. And now the the article just basically going into more details about each and every person. I'm just looking at all these people's pictures and everybody. That's basically the end of the article, just showing the different people that were involved in this. So President Biden said Tuesday that he was devastated by the killing of 10 people at a grocery store in Boulder, Colorado, and called on Congress not to wait another minute in enacting legislation to ban assault-style weapons and high-capacity ammunition magazines. So this is not and should not be a partisan issue. It is an American issue, a somber Mr. Biden said in brief remarks delivered in the state dining room at the White House. We have to act. The attack in Colorado, in which a gunman killed 10 people, including a police officer, came less than a week after another gunman killed 8 people in Atlanta. Mr. Biden noted that he had to draft a proclamation on Monday to keep, not lower, the White House flags at half-staff because they had already been lowered to honor the victims killed in Atlanta. Another American city has been scarred by gun violence and the resulting trauma, he said. Before March 16th, it had been a year since there had been a large-scale shooting in a public place. In 2018, the year that a gunman killed 70 people and injured 17 others at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, which I do have a video on about that, in Florida. There were 10 mass shootings in which 4 or more people were killed in a public setting. I mentioned all this in that video. So the following year was a gunman targeting Latinos in El Paso, Texas, who killed 22 people, and there were 9 such shootings as well. So to sum it up, basically Biden's basically saying, go ahead, we need to move forward on basically banning automatic rifles or semi-automatic rifles, AR guns, like those real military style guns. Now, with that being said, okay, so when it comes down to gun laws and comes down to talking about banning stuff like that, okay, you have people that are hunters, you have people that work on farms, you have people that deal with that kind of stuff, and you also have to think about homeland security. So, okay, if anything were to happen, and again, another far-fetched statement I'm making, I'm briefing you, I'm getting you ready. Disclaimer, far-fetched. I'm just saying. But you cannot ever just not think of the possibilities. There are always endless possibilities to life. So if anything were to ever happen, where the government just decides to have a mass shutdown, a mass, like, we're going to control everything, and you are now stuck, how would you defend yourself? And I'm not saying that everybody even has the opportunity to go get an AR. No. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, if the opportunity are not there for you to survive and be able to protect yourself, how would you protect yourself? You will have no way of protecting yourself. So therefore, you will be under the governmental rule of whatever it is that they want you to do. You have no control over yourself. So the thing about I'm mentioning is, I feel like as a human, you should be able to control yourself. You should be able to protect yourself in any way, shape, or form that you want to protect. I don't feel like you should have a couple of bad apples spoil the entire barrel, you know. And if you put a bad apple in a fresh pack of apples, that one apple will spoil the rest of the pack of apples. But sometimes you can pick out those apples and you can still, you know, get fresh, juicy red apples. Now, the issue that I have is, okay, fine, you guys ban automatic rifles, AR guns. I get it. Okay, do y'all not think there's still going to be people that go and still do shootings? People are going to still do shootings. Like, I don't mean to say like that, and it sucks. It really, really does suck. But banning AR rifles and making gun laws more stringent is not going to stop mass shootings. It's not. People are going to still find ways to get a gun on the black market. There are lots of ways to find guns. People got guns, you know, right now that are not technically legally bought. You understand what I'm saying? So if they're going to ban AR, semi-automatic rifle, whatever, it still won't solve the problem. I personally don't feel like it's going to solve the problem. It won't solve the problem. Okay, yes, it may make it harder for people to go and purchase them from real stores or people like that. But if you're going to want to do something this horrendous, you're not going to stop. You're not going to let a law stop you from getting the things that you need to do something that's so freaking vindictive and crazy and horrendous. You're not. If your mind is set to do something this freaking psychotic, you're going to do and get what you need to do this craziness. And it's in my opinion. So making it hard on the normal civilian, because if you think about it, those are military style guns, right? If war did come to America, people in the country are going to be prepared. Like, they're going to be prepared. They're going to be ready, set. People in the cities, we don't have this stuff anyways. But we're going to be looking around like, oh no, National Guard. You know what I'm saying? No. They are taught in certain places, certain rural places and suburban kind of places to defend themselves. And they practice these things because this can happen. And I don't disagree with the whole gun law things, but also don't agree with the gun law things, because if it comes down to it, I want to be able to have the way to protect myself, and I don't want just some little popper gun. I don't. And yes, I still do think that if it came down to it, people, if they want to go out and do something crazy, they can still take a popper gun. You know, one of those little handguns that the cops be having, and they can still take a little Taurus or whatever and still do multiple shots at people. So having an automatic AR does make it seem, because when you think about it, and my condolences go out to these people, guys. Oh my gosh, my condolences go out to these families. But if you think about it, right, the mental thought of hearing a gun just fire off continuously is such a scary thought, and I don't wish it upon no one. But also, someone pulling a trigger continuously can still make rounds fly, can still make rounds shoot out, and people can still get shot. Okay, so, you know, I don't feel like this is going to solve a problem. I just feel like this is more of a control thing. That's my opinion. This is more of a control thing to know who has this, who doesn't have this. We have the big guns. The government has the big guns. You guys left with these little guns. If anything happens, I can control you more than you can control yourself. And that's just my opinion. I'm not saying anything will happen, but the world we live in, you never know. You never know what can happen. You never know what can happen, okay? So be as prepared as you can, you know, and that's just my opinion. Especially, honestly, especially people on these farms, they need real guns. I mean, maybe they may have a law for people that are on the farms and stuff. I guess they don't need an automatic gun, but you never know, for their protection. And I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's just my opinion. Let me know your thoughts down below. Again, my condolences go out to all 10 family. Oh my gosh, my condolences go out to all 10 families that have been in this situation. I'm so sorry for your losses. I don't wish this upon no one. I'm glad that the culprit has been caught and is going to be sentenced. I just hope they don't twist it. I hope they don't try to twist it for some kind of insanity type of thing. He needs to be in jail. He does not need to be sitting in nowhere, you know, forget jail. He needs to be in prison, a separated prison, a cell by himself, to be there in his mental and to feel the guilt of what happened. That's what he needs to do. Yeah, so with that being said, guys, if you're new to my channel, I thank you for watching this video to the end. Please make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Leave your comments down below. If you have any comments on this video or any other videos you'd like for me to reference, please leave them in the description box, therefore I can look them up and discuss them. I also want for you to leave your comments on the things I discussed in this video. Please give me some kind of feedback on the things that I talked about in this video specifically, and make sure you don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. I always make sure to be up and active on all current events and trending topics and news related topics. So please make sure you hit the notification bell, so therefore you don't miss any of my content that I have coming up that discusses things like this. Also, I do motivational videos on Monday, workout Wednesday, and other things in between. So please stay tuned for those videos as well. Thank you so much for your time today. And again, RIP to all of the people that were involved in the situation. Thank you guys for your time. Love, peace, and blessings. Take care.